Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Sonia's Baking and Cocktails. I am Sonia and I'm really happy to see you back here. Today's recipe is going to be white chocolate chip cookie. Don't worry if you don't like white chocolate, it's very easy to substitute. The drink, because of the upcoming Valentine's Day, is going to be Amaretto Cranberry Kiss. Let's get started. Okay, here's pretty much all you're gonna need for this recipe. We have 225 grams of butter, which is 1 cup of butter. Then we have 2.5 deciliters of sugar, which is about 1 cup. Then we have 1 deciliter of brown sugar, which is 3/4 of a cup. 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar, and I already mixed it in with the white sugar. If you use liquid vanilla, you can, and then you just add it in when you put in the sugar. Then we have 2 eggs. I like to use organic or free-range eggs, just because my philosophy, happy chicken, the better tasting egg. And then we have 5 deciliters of flour, which is about 2 cups of flour, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. It's already mixed in with the flour as well. Then we're gonna need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we come to the chocolate. So I have 200 grams of white chocolate here. Like I said, you can substitute that with milk chocolate or dark chocolate or any kind of chocolate you like. For me, I like to make sure that the chocolate is fair trade, just because it's fair. No one has to suffer because I like chocolate. And then we have some nuts. You can leave the nuts out if you're not loving person. I am. So I'm gonna do some nuts. I wanted to do macadamia nuts today, but they were all out in my local store. So I got these white chocolate covered cashews because it just sounded really nice. And I never tried them before, but we'll see. I have a feeling it's gonna be a good choice. Then you're gonna need a mixing bowl. You're gonna need some measuring cups. Like I said before, electronic mixers are nice. If you don't have one, you can do this without that one too, but it makes it a little easier. And then we're gonna need some baking paper or you can grease your dish you wanna bake the cookies in. So that's pretty much it. Let's get started. Okay, here we are ready to start our baking. These are the ingredients you're gonna need first. We have the butter. Once again, make sure it's softened or you're gonna have butter all over your kitchen. Let's put it in the bowl. And then we're gonna add in the white sugar with the vanilla in there. So if you're using liquid vanilla, you might wanna put that in here right now too. And of course, the brown sugar. So here we go. Once again, I apologize for the sound of my beater. Here we go. And then we're gonna add in the eggs. There we go. That's the butter, the eggs, and the sugars, and the vanilla. Okay, if you haven't already, now it's time to mix in the dry ingredients, which means the flour and the baking powder. So just make sure it's nice and even, the baking powder in there. And now we can add the salt as well. So 1/2 teaspoon is about that amount. So mix that in there as well. And that's ready to be added to the eggs and sugar and butter. Okay, and now we're ready to add the flour into the batter, like I think I already mentioned. Sorry about that. And just put it in there. Here we go. All in there. And once again, we mix. And it looks nice and smooth. So here we are ready to add in our nuts and our chocolate. As you can see, I cut my nuts into smaller pieces. You can decide for yourself what size you want them to be. And then the chocolate. I bought a bar of chocolate at the store and then just cut it into smaller pieces myself. They're very uneven, as you can see. It doesn't matter. It's fun to have a cookie that has a little bit bigger chunks of chocolate and then the smaller ones. You can also buy the already made chocolate chips from your store, but I prefer to cut it myself. So here we go. Add in the nuts. Mix it a little bit at this point. And once they are in there, you add in your chocolate. And there we go. It's already all nice and mixed in there. Now you can see my mixer. It really gets stuck in there. Probably someone who's professional would know how to do it without getting it all stuck in there. But what I usually do is just get the beaters off the mixer and then just use a spoon and get it all out and in the bowl. I'm starting to think that I put too much chocolate in there, but a friend of mine once said it's impossible as long as you can see something else besides chocolate in the chocolate chip cookie. There's room for more. So we'll see how these turn out, and I'm kind of excited with the new nut and everything. But here's the dough. It's time to preheat that oven, 200 Celsius and 400 Fahrenheit. Here we are ready to bake our cookies. I like to use these baking trays and then just put the baking paper on top of it. But whatever you want to use, it's fine. Just make sure that if you don't use the paper, grease your dish wherever you're gonna bake them to make sure that they don't stick. But here we go. Let's just start to do this. You can use spoon, you can use your hands, whatever you feel like. I have this tool that I like to use, and you just grab some dough and just put it on the paper or whatever dish you're gonna use. You can choose what size cookies you want to make. Just make sure that you leave a little space in between. If you don't if you don't leave space, the cookies will get bigger and they will get stuck together. So we want to avoid that. Or you can make one large cookie, you know. Someone might love you for making them a huge cookie. You can make it for yourself too. But for this size dish, I like to do 3 and 3 times 4. So they usually don't get stuck. And the recipe makes about 40 to 50 cookies, depending on the size of the cookies you want to make. Not sure if I already mentioned, but they go in for 8 to 10 minutes. Make sure to check them at some point before the 8 minutes, because you don't want them to burn. If you're making smaller cookies, they might burn pretty fast. So we're gonna do this, and you just repeat this as long as you have dough. So the cookies are out of the oven now, and they look really good to me. The trick of baking these cookies is to leave the center a little lighter than the edges. That makes it nice and chewy. It took me about 8 minutes to bake them, so keep an eye on them when they're in the oven. Make sure that they are cooled off before you try them or transfer them to any other dish. They will break easily if they're not cooled off. So I know it probably smells amazing in your kitchen right now, but just wait for a minute. And I hope you enjoy. So here we are, our cookies are ready. I got 60 cookies. That's a lot of cookies. I couldn't even fit them all on the plate. What I think I'm gonna do is take some of them to my colleagues on Monday morning who doesn't like to come to the office and have some cookies for breakfast. And yeah, if you have any left over, you can freeze them once again. I have a feeling you won't, but you can. And just let them defrost in your fridge or your kitchen counter. Once again, no microwave. There's so much butter in them, they're gonna melt. And now it's time for the Amaretto Cranberry Kiss. Okay, here we are, ready to make our Amaretto Cranberry Kiss. What you're going to need for this recipe is some vodka, amaretto, cranberry juice, and orange juice. Also ice, a glass, and something to shake the drink in. If you don't have a shaker, that's fine. You might want to check out my previous video to see how you can substitute that. You don't need to have fancy equipment for this one either. And then I like to use for garnish a little bit of tangerine. Not mandatory once again. So let's make a drink. Okay, let's get started. So pick your whatever you're gonna shake your drink in and put in the ice. Then I like to use 1 part cranberry juice. Then 1/3 vodka. And 1/4 of the amaretto. It's pretty strong, so you don't want to overpower your drink. And then however much you want orange juice, I like to squeeze my orange juice fresh. You know, it's an orange, you can squeeze it once again. But you can also buy your orange juice from the store, that's fine too. But whatever your taste is, a splash is what I would do. So here we go. And then I think we have it all, and then we're gonna shake it. And then we're gonna pour it into Sonia's cocktail glass again. It's a beautiful color. Just the right amount. And then we're gonna do a little tangerine on the side. There you go. The amaretto cranberry kiss. So that's it. The chocolate chip cookie and the amaretto cranberry kiss. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. I forgot to mention before, but I tried the cookie and the cashew really worked. So be brave and try out new things. You might discover something amazing. And like I mentioned before, I haven't tried that cashew in that cookie before, but it really worked. So I might be doing them again soon. Please come back for the recipes. You can find Sonia's Baking and Cocktails also now on Facebook and Instagram. So I appreciate every like, share, following, subscription. I really, really do. So please do subscribe and like and share the recipes and share the love, and keep coming back for amazing recipes, and we'll keep baking and doing cocktails together. Cheers.